Sunday, 8th of January 1977. Watched Jim Will Fix It. David Soul looking absolutely fantastic, meeting girls and saying how lovely one of them was. Spit. 14th of April 1977. Davey was finally on top of the pops. Boy, was he good looking. Faint. Woke up from a lovely dream of Starsky and Hutch. Slept only with David Soul.
We're still worth one more try.
Lunch, toad in whole, peas and tomato sauce. Went to the canteen and imagined what it would be like if David was there. Phoned Claire and got about 2 secs to put in another 10p. David Soul is number 1. You ask any female in Britain between the age of like 35 and perhaps 45, and they will all have seen it and they will all have a preference for either the fair-haired one or the dark-haired one.
I think the network was probably very hopeful that you get 2, athletic, decent-looking bachelor cops and put some beautiful chicks in there and some fast cars. And we'll get a reaction to that and fill an audience.
There was indeed a time when unwieldy knitwear and a red Torino with a white chevron made officers Ken Hutchinson and Dave Starsky of the LAPD every schoolgirl's dream.
The character he portrayed was like your ultimate crush, the ultimate, what a man should be. It was like terribly tough. And yet there was a kind of a vulnerability there.
You're the best friend I got in the whole world. You think I'd like saying things like this to you?
2 guys that were very much working together and were friends.
The boys' sizzling on-screen chemistry was a truly global phenomenon. The show was number 1 in over 40 countries and gave Soulman Dave the chance to indulge his other passion. The world of song soon had a new superstar.
Some of the people who are photographed extremely well are very disappointing in the flesh. David...
When I first arrived in the UK, probably I count that as one of the more terrifying moments of my life. First thought is, who the hell are they waiting for? Oh, it's you, pal. Me? What have I done?
Check 1, 2. 1, 2.
It was saying to the teenage girl at the time exactly what they wanted to hear, sort of romantic song from this incredibly good-looking guy.
Here I am, a million miles from home. The Indiana wind and rain come through me. I'm lost and alone, chilled to the bone, silver lady.
I would really like to thank you for welcoming me, making me feel so much at home in your country. Thank you.
Sadly, there was a downside to being the world's blondest man.
Most people burn out quite quickly because you are literally working 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. Very little sleep.
You get sucked into everything. Somebody sees, oh, let's get a celebrity into this. Let's get him. Would he come down to the hospital? Would he just drop in and say hello to the women's organization? Would he just do this? Would he just?
There was somebody at the studio whose sole job was to have children who were dying, whose last request was to speak to David Soul.
There is someone who comes to you and says, would you please call this person? Could you talk to this person?
They put the call through, and there would be this child, days, hours from death, and David would get on the phone, how are you, what do you think of Starsky and Hutch, and what do you, talking to them in a measured, controlled way. I mean, you'd think, how can anybody find it with themselves to sit there and talk to a child that's going to be dead within hours or days?
And sometimes it saps you because you can't give that much of yourself away.
Lord knows we've come this far.
Thursday, 24th of March, 1977. One of the most depressing evenings of my entire life. No David, and then Claire phoned to say they've taken Starsky and Hutch off the production line and that she'd seen a picture of the very final scene.
Now, there's a lot of water in your future.
Water? The drinking kind, or no?
A great deal of water.
Oh.
I don't really know how to tell you this.
Well, try, okay, because it's important to me.
This is very important.
It is.
It really looks like your whole career is washed up.
We can still come through.
Post-Hutch, the sapped soul slipped into a private hell of alcoholism and domestic violence. He got better though.
There's a lot of shit that's happened over the years, you know. But when you're still around and still able to do this, that's something to be thankful for.
A rejuvenated Dave now lives and works in the UK, where his successful stage shows, occasionally featuring some old mates, have given him a whole new career.
And who else can I turn to? Come on, silver lady, take my word. I won't run out on you again.
And now I'm down and dirty. I've done a fringe, I play in the Fringe, you know. I've worked all over the country in regional theater. This is fantastic down here, you know. But I'm living. I'm a punter.
David Soul, the man who went from cop to pop, can still be seen on a stage near you, or on the telly, in the endless reruns of a certain show from 1977.
I saw these images, the opening sequence when the Torino races through the alley and paper goes in all directions. And it came back to me, and like all the years in between collapsed. And I was like 25 years ago again, and all those feelings came back. And so all that initial excitement of being a teenager sort of came back again.
Don't give up on us, I know we can still come through.